Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 511 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Let's go into just a couple DC film updates. The first one coming from Fandom Wire. And this is actually by Andy Signore. He claims he has come onto an exclusive saying that DC's Black Adam is to feature an epic JSA battles with these superheroes. So let's go further into it. Now, Dwayne Rock Johnson did say this quote earlier about fighting the JSA or the original, introduced to the JSA rather. He said this: "It's an origin story, and that's where we started, and we root it. And then we build out from there." Now, not to say Shazam isn't on my radar. Of course Shazam is, but so is all of DC. JSA, we will introduce you to that, the world to JSA, the Justice Society of America. Okay, Andy Signore comes to reveal a few more things. All right, a few more things. This may be first and second act spoilers ahead, possibly. So if you don't want to see this, skip to the next section. But okay, here we go. Slight first and second act plot spoilers ahead. The film is set to open many years in the past with Black Adam releasing the same 7 sins from the first Shazam. The Justice Society of America must stop him, and the JSA lineup will consist of Immortals: Wizard Shazam, by Jamon Honso, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, Dr. Fate, Jay Garrick, that's interesting. That's cool. Alan Scott is going to be in there, so we're going to have some Green Lantern stuff going on as well as the Flash. And so the first act has all of these JSA superheroes taking on Black Adam with all their powers, so prepare for a truly glorious battle that also sets the tone for how powerful Black Adam is. Then following down, it's going to go into the present day after they lock Black Adam up, which includes the souls of Hawkman and Hawkgirl take new bodies. They team back up with the immortal Dr. Fate as a recruit, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, and also Adriana. So the love interest Isis. They also work with Black Adam's love interest Isis, who is now just called Adriana for obvious political marketing reasons. Oh, that's interesting. So because of the whole ISIS terrorist thing, they're going to change her name to Adriana. Oh well. From what we've learned, the film is truly epic, adventurous in scope, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam upgrading what could have easily been a simple dark fight against Zachary Levi's Shazam. So you can go ahead and go to this. Andy Signore also has a video on this if you want to go check it out. If you want to learn a little bit more about what his exclusive in terms of the new Black Adam movie. It's not just going to be a Black Adam movie. There's a lot of characters in this one, a lot of superheroes that you probably recognize from the DC films. This is going to be a big DC film movie, bigger than what I initially thought, and actually quite welcome. Actually, I would love to see DC expand this way, and this is a great way to see a version of Justice League. I think a little bit a version of Justice League if you think about it. Not Zack Snyder's Justice League or Whedon's, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam's Justice League, Justice Society of America, Black Adam versus JSA. So let's talk about Justice League for a second, but not the one you're thinking. Apparently, and I didn't know, comicbookresource.com is reporting that the Justice League Mortal documentary to resume production and gets new title. Okay, this is the Justice League Mortal movie that George Miller was supposed to do. You know, the one with Armie Hammer as Batman? After being dormant for years, the Justice League Mortal documentary will resume production with a new title, Seven Friends, George Miller's Justice League. According to a press release from Purbury Productions, the much-delayed documentary expected to start back up later this year. It will center around the rise and fall of director George Miller's failed 2007 team-up film, Justice League Mortal. After speaking with cast and crew on and off over the last 5 years, we are confident we have a wonderful project to bring to light for all pop culture fans around the globe, says producer Ryan Unicomb. It kind of feels like the world wasn't really ready for this the first time we tried to do this back in 2015. With everything going on in the world, now feels like the right time to look back at what may have been and celebrate what actually was. That's interesting when he says that. It kind of feels like the world wasn't ready yet, but with everything going on in this world, now they're going to release this. The film will feature interviews from cast and crew along with looks at unseen production art, photography, and video footage documenting the pre-production. Renowned artist Cody Boss Logic Abdo will provide the promotional art while cosplayer Chris Stanley will recreate the pre-production designs. At this point, though, they don't have George Miller's blessing. While George Miller at this stage has no intention of taking part, we are hopeful that once he sees our project as the thoughtful celebration of the work that took place that we hope it to be, he may change his mind, the statement reads. So a fundraising campaign for this is expected to launch in July. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing this. I saw some of the production. I've seen some of the costume designs and choices, the actors and actresses that played the different characters, and I'm very intrigued by it. I kind of want to see what type of movies this was supposed to be. It's very much like the Tim Burton Superman movie with Nicolas Cage. I love that Death and Superman Lives. I forgot what it's called. They had back then the documentary for that, and it was enjoyable because I really got to see, you really get to kind of grasp what type of a crazy sci-fi movie that was, and you kind of delve into Hollywood production a little bit more, and that's also welcoming. So I would want to see what George Miller's Justice League Mortal could have been, right? So that's a great thing. And let's go into some Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? So like I said, almost every video I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to show you a Zack Snyder's JL fan poster that was submitted. Didn't win, but that's okay because I think they're all winners. They're all incredible. This one is number 862 by Roy Ledger, and you see the information there. This is an amazing piece. Amazing piece. One of my favorites, where you see Dark Side in the back, and then you see Superman holding a black suit Superman holding a fallen Lois Lane, right? And so this is where we'll assume this is after Darkseid kills Lois Lane and subjects Superman to the anti-life, and he becomes the evil Superman. So I love this poster. This looks amazing. This probably captures the sequel to Justice League, maybe. But this is something, a nightmare future. I still would want to see, still would love to see how this takes place. So beautiful artwork, Roy Ledger. Go and check this out. Save it and maybe just frame it if you're gonna make a poster for yourself. Who knows? But this is an awesome looking Zack Snyder Justice League fan poster. So talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League a little bit. And we're going to go into Boss Logic a little bit too. This is Boss Logic's poster, by the way, that Mr. John Campia is using. And he puts this at his title. Now is the time to release the Snyder Cut to bring some joy in the crisis. Originally, I wasn't going to watch this. I've heard from people that it's not as good as I thought it could be. But, to give him the benefit of the doubt, and, I'll tell you what he said, if you don't want to click on him. So, but it is not too bad. It's not too bad. In a way, he's kind of just saying that the studio should just release it out of good faith and out of everything. Now that the world has gone to shit, you might as well just release this. You might as well just put it out so it brings some joy to the fans that really want it. He's still kind of throwing shade on the Snyder Cut and the Snyder Cut fandom. Yes, he is. But he's kind of just saying just release it. And by almost like saying that, of course, it exists in some form. I like the Robert Meyer Burnett saying that, well, if they just plop the extra money so that Zack Snyder can finish it and then release it. I think that's actually a better deal, and I think that's something Zack Snyder will probably want to do and will probably do, because he has additional photography. He says that he hasn't done, there's some CG shots that needs to be done, and so there is needed money to finish it, to Zack Snyder's, how Zack Snyder wants it, and I believe that they have every intention of letting him do that. So it's kind of cool to see some of these people turning around instead of just saying that why even release it, why and trying to stop it from being released. At least he kind of said, might as well just release it at this point. So there's some little bit about that, but so if you didn't want to click on it, I just saved you a click. So now, going into now would be the good time to release it, right? Now would be a good time. I would like to reword that, though. I would like to say now would be a good time to announce it, and then release it later as soon as Zack is finished doing what he needs to do in order to complete this movie that he wants us to see. But I thought this was interesting. Variety reported that Warner Media internal memo reveals a $100 million relief fund for shut down production staff. So this is Warner Media. They're giving out $100 million relief to the workers affected by the wide production shutdowns in film and television, CEO John Stankey said in a Friday staff memo obtained by Variety. Because of this coronavirus, it's shutting down everything, delaying films just like Wonder Woman 1984, shutting down the production of the Batman, giving this course of action for other movies to release early, to release straight to streaming, or like Birds of Prey or Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, releasing to VOD earlier than before. So this coronavirus, COVID-19, has affected the industry in such a astronomical matter in terms of money, in terms of jobs, and in terms of release dates or how they're being released. So you see Warner Media getting involved in this aspect. But because we're trying to keep this positive, by the way, so I don't want to get too far into COVID-19 and coronavirus. It is depressing as hell. So hopefully I can lighten up your day if the Snyder Cut is something you're really looking forward to, or entertainment industry in general, right? So with this, okay, they are indeed, right here it says, they are indeed still working on the launch of HBO Max, remains on schedule for this May, and the marketing team has had to recast plans to reach potential subscribers in innovative ways. So they're still strongly believe they can actually get HBO Max pumping out by May. I'm a little surprised by that because I would think they would try to do it a little earlier, but as we're going into almost April, I can understand that they can probably wait another month to get it on May. There's millions of people at home right now wanting to watch something. I don't know if it's worldwide. I don't think so. So there is a little bit of that. But in any case, for America at least, I think HBO Max remains on schedule for May. And so they're really truly looking at that matter in a whole new light, right? But they're not pushing it to the point. But Warner Brothers is experimenting with accelerating home entertainment viewing, right? Even though they have optimal dates to deliver their most must-see films in theaters and stuff like that, but they're looking at other entertainment. From this, I'm seeing that they're looking for other avenues, experimenting and trying to accelerate home entertainment content viewing for their projects, right? And so I think this also means they're accelerating ways to even get projects like Zack Snyder's Justice League onto the streaming service. And so I still feel like it's possible that with HBO Max coming in May, that Zack Snyder's Justice League could still be an launch announcement rather than a launch release, right? So I'm still waiting on that. There's still a month to go to prepare ourselves for that fact or not. We'll have to wait and see, but it's good to see that Warner Media is still on track to announce or even to release actually HBO Max in May. And with that, does it come with an announcement? I've said it for this on this channel for a long time now. I personally will not subscribe to HBO Max until that day they announce the Snyder Cut. Once they announce the Snyder Cut, I know for a fact that it's coming. I will subscribe to HBO Max. Not a day sooner. I will not. No. And that's just me. I don't care if you do it. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's your life. It's your choice. But for me, I am not going to subscribe to HBO Max until they announce the Snyder Cut. So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully in May, if they announce the Snyder Cut, they're going to announce the Snyder Cut in May and saying it's going to be, don't worry, it's going to come onto HBO Max. It's just going to take a while longer. We're going to release it on HBO Max next year, as long as there's an announcement paragraph or even a line in that announcement, or even a trailer or a teaser or a picture or a confirmation from Zack Snyder. That's when I'll subscribe to HBO Max. So you can bet my bottom dollar on that. So let's go into some Snyder Cuts. Since we're talking about Snyder Cut, another restaurant, official restaurant, started tweeting, "Release the Snyder Cut. Let's make it happen. Release the Snyder Cut" from A&W Restaurants. I don't think I have an A&W restaurants in Hawaii, so I'm not able to go to an A&W restaurants. Maybe I can buy the A&W root beer in support. There's that. Subway, it's funny, but Subway acknowledged A&W restaurants. They said the movement only becomes stronger with support from others like us and the many fans around the world. Welcome A&W hashtag release the Snyder Cut. That's amazing. This is a weird time we're living in where restaurants are supporting the Snyder Cut, but not only A&W, right? Wendy said it the other day, and I already tweeted that out. Subway responded to Wendy saying, "We have one power. We never give up. Welcome to the movement, hashtag release the Snyder Cut." And lo and behold, Zack Snyder decided to drop in today to respond to both of them and saying hashtag united. What the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, is this marketing? Is this beginning marketing? Are all these restaurants going to sponsor the Snyder Cut? I mean, what is going on? This is the weirdest thing that's happening, and it was weird during the time of the sandwich league with Subway and a whole bunch of other sandwich companies were, but then they were just kind of like Feeding America, right? This has nothing to do with feeding at this, I don't think. But these other sandwich shops and restaurants are coming in on this, and my God, it's crazy, it's weird, and it's awesome. I mean, it's great. Each of these restaurants have millions of followers, right? And it's getting the word out. Um, and it's amazing. It's just amazing for us. Like, remember, like 2 years ago to now, how much of this word, release the Snyder Cut, has spread to the point that restaurants, big restaurants, are tweeting it out. That's crazy. This is just nuts. And what a time we're living in right now. And thank you, Zack Snyder, for coming out and kind of acknowledging that a little bit. But is there something up your sleeve in terms of these restaurants? It's weird. But Zack Snyder also showed up on Vero. This is yesterday. He posted Doing the Work, and it was a total film picture with him and the team. They're shooting the BVS warehouse fight. I don't know if this is Ben Affleck or Richard Citrone. I think it's probably Ben. I don't know if it's close-up looking, but I'm not sure. But in any case, he says Doing the Work. Now, we can look hard into this. I don't know if I should. It could be just referring like they're doing the work during the Batman v Superman warehouse scene. But I noticed that it's not a past tense, because wouldn't he say done the work? Or is he living in that moment and saying doing the work? I don't know. We'll see. But Will Rowlands did point out something, that yesterday he said doing the work, and today, if I can get it to show, today he posted this. Star Labs, Ryan, Silas, right? Doing the work on Justice League? Nah. Could it be? I don't know. But there is this new picture here of Ryan Choi, a.k.a. the Atom, Silas Stone, who is Victor Stone's father. And they're in the Star Labs. What probably appears to be a laser pointed at... I don't know what this is. Like, is that the mother box? What are they looking? They're looking at some screen, but what is this? Now, this looks like the CG is quite done, and they're experimenting on something. I have no idea. This looks it's not a box. It's not a square. It might be, maybe they're opening up the box using a laser. I have no idea what's going on here. There is some theories that you can actually see maybe possibly Steppenwolf's, Hegra in here, right? So that's something you can probably theorize on it as well. I have no idea, but it's cool. I mean, he's sharing Justice League stuff again, as I know he's in isolation just like the rest of us, and he's probably itching to give us a lot more stuff, but slowly and surely. And I'm all happy for it. It's a bright sunshine every morning to see him release another pick, And you notice he's not giving it away too much. This is a scene we're probably seeing multiple shots of. We've already seen Ryan Choi many times. We're seeing Silas Stone many times. This Starley's Lab scene many times. But this is a different part of that scene. So he's not giving too much away of what he's already said. So he's still keeping a lot of that movie close to his chest. And hopefully maybe later on we can actually watch and see it, right? But I think this is kind of cool that he's sharing this kind of stuff, including the Batman v Superman pictures for this weekend, because this weekend is going to be a fun weekend indeed. It's going to be a fun weekend. It is what we're probably calling a Batman v Superman weekend, because this is the weekend 4 years ago where they released Batman v Superman in theaters, right? So Batman v Superman we're going to have a live stream charity watch. This is a thank you to, Dave and Meg. They were able to put this thing together. Hashtag BVS 4 years. There's going to be a live stream charity watch party on Twitch. The actual link to that video, to that watch party, is going to be in two links that I'm going to provide right below in the description below. One to Feeding America and the other one to American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So I know it's hard, but if you have just a little bit, you can go ahead and donate to either of those foundations. The link to the actual watch party will be in there, right? So many of us are stuck inside due to the current pandemic. Let's not let that stop us from having a good time. What better way to celebrate the 4-year anniversary of Batman v Superman than all of us watching it together and donating to American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So Saturday, March 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, links will be provided for the live stream, the donations to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, as well as Feeding America. And I want to add, because some person was asking about Australia when I posted this out. Australia is actually, for you guys, it's going to be Sunday, March 29 at 7 a.m. So there is a time difference there. I use the world time. I Google it. If you need to Google it, say March 28th, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 and whatever country you're at, then you should be able to get the right date and the right time to join us in this BVS charity watch. And I'm hearing from some of these guys that there's going to be a surprise guest appearance on this live streaming with a special message. Why not? I mean, we don't have to go to Detroit now. You might as well tune in from wherever you are in the world, and put a little money in if you've got any. I know it's struggling, it's hard times. I understand that, and you don't have to really. You can just go into those links and watch it. But if you got something, if you can help a little, please do. It goes a long way. But in any case, if you can, just join us and celebrate, watch Batman v Superman with us, and there's gonna be a live chat on Twitch as well, and just let's celebrate Batman v Superman. 4 years, it's been 4 years since Batman v Superman comes out, and everyone, and I mean everyone, is still talking about this movie. All right, guys, well, I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I can't wait to see who's the special guest? Who's the surprise guest with the special message? I can't wait to learn what that may be. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at the BVS live stream charity watch party, and I hope to see you there. Until next time, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.